Hi there, welcome to the Networking Made Simple podcast. I'm your host, Burchard, the Bowtie coach. Networking Made Simple is an exploration of networking and social business connections for entrepreneurs, but especially for introverted entrepreneurs like me. It has taken me 24 years to get to the place where I'm comfortable to be on camera, a microphone, or in front of people. My journey is far from over. I have the same challenges I have always had as an introvert. I've just learned how to leverage those introverted traits into positive tools for building business relationships. This podcast is an exploration and sharing of those 24 years of experience, mistakes, and learnings. I will alternate between sharing from my own experiences and interviewing other entrepreneurs to learn from their journey. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hi there, it's me, Burchard, the Bowtie coach, and welcome to the first episode of Networking Made Simple podcast, a podcast where we are demystifying the art of networking, especially for introverts. So today, I want to talk about my journey from real estate into becoming a coach. So we're going to go a little bit back. So imagine you're in a place in your life where you're paralyzed. You don't know what to do. You're not sure where to turn. Resources feel like they're drying up. Ideas feel like they're drying up, and you just don't know what to do. You speak to your spouse, you speak to your friends. You don't have a coach perhaps, but you're just like, what do I do? Well, welcome to the Bowtie Coach. So let's go back a little bit. I started my journey as an entrepreneur in the early 2000s reluctantly. I was in the IT business, did really good at it, and ended up unemployed and unemployable because there was no other IT jobs to be had at that time. I reluctantly got into real estate, first as a real estate broker, because I have a master's degree in business, so it just made sense to go straight for the broker's license. So I did that, and I got my broker's license, and I ran my own company. And for a couple of years, that was going fine, and then business kind of started to dry up a little bit. We weren't getting quite the leads that we were normally used to be getting. And being an introvert, I did not know what to do. A friend of ours introduced us to this organization called Business Networking International, which is, like it says, it's about business networking. And they, long story short, taught me a lot of really valuable content. That and some of the other educational things I was doing over the years with landmark education, neurolinguistic programming training, training as a drug and alcohol counselor. So I've got a lot of other training in there as well, and a lot of experience presenting myself, speaking in public, all of that came a long way. But way back then, I was freaking petrified. So B&I made it easy and effortless. You follow a formula, you learn what they have to teach you, and it was effortless. And it did pick up business quite a bit. So fast forward to now, and I'm starting my business back in the desert area in 2015. And of course, I knew immediately I needed to start another B&I chapter. So I did that. Well, I also got involved with volunteer leadership and networking in other groups. So I threw myself out there, and I did it from the point of view, at first, I was building my B&I chapter. So I would be going to these other networking events to find other professionals to join me on the journey of creating a B&I chapter, because we had to have 25 members before we could launch and become a chapter. So that happened. It took time. Yay, we were successful. Whippy! Hey, if you'd like more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this podcast, and please share this with a friend who may be looking for this kind of inspirational content as well. Bells and whistles. Anyway, I continued my journey in volunteer leadership at the chamber, with my city, with my real estate associations at the local, state, and national level, and even regionally here with the Greater Coachella Valley. There's Leadership Coachella Valley. I have a leadership academy for the entire valley. So all of these things have added to my knowledge of skills and what's going on. Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, I was speaking with clients, and I was having one of those out-of-body experiences where I was like observing what I was saying, and the confidence and the knowledge that was flowing through me from all of my leadership activities and volunteer activities and the networking was just coming out of me. Not like an arrogant confidence, just this calm confidence of, I know what I know. And I was like, who the heck is this person? Well, long story short, it was me. But I had to reflect on that and think, why is there a huge difference? Because I'm an introvert and I'm petrified to be in front of people, and I'm not very comfortable expressing myself sometimes. And upon reflecting, the only thing that was bleedingly obvious was the education I was giving myself, the experience from networking, the experience from volunteer leadership, and putting myself out there. Also, YouTube videos and social media posts and shorts, that all added to that confidence. So I had to look on that and go, wow, oh my goodness. And I noticed that the clients, they react to that confidence. They react to the knowledge that I'm ingesting by studying my industry, studying the local, state, and national politics as it relates to real estate, not politics. I'm not into that. That makes a difference because all of that knowledge and experience that I'm soaking up affects my clients. They gain positively because of that experience and knowledge, and it flavors how I handle a transaction. So about 2 years ago, things started to slow down in real estate, and I was whining to a friend, and she just point blank, she knows me. She knows the training I've had. She knows my experience in leadership and voluntary leadership and reading and podcasts. She knows my flavor, my penchant for consuming and growing. And she just simply quietly, calmly says, don't you have some knowledge and experience and training that you could turn into, I don't know, something you could charge for? Something you could offer the world? Right over my head at first. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? So she repeated it at least 3 times before I finally went, oh, do you mean like being a coach? And she goes, ding, 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 ding. Hello, McFly. Okay, so the lights went on. And I'm like, oh, that's so interesting because that word coach has been coming up during my sacred time. I meditate and I take care of my mental health every day. So part of my meditation and prayer work involves listening to the intuition or whatever the heck you want to call that stuff. So the word coach had been coming up quite a bit during that time period. And I kept going, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Well, the universe has a way of slapping me in the back of the head with the 2x4 if I don't frickin' pay attention. So, knowing this from previous experience, I said, let me listen. Let me actually pay attention to this. Wow, that is a really good thing for you to bring up. And I'm definitely going to look into that starting today, I promise. And I'll get back to you about that. Ironically, that same day, I was having a call with my new coach. And I think this was like my second call with a new coach. And I was sharing with her the synchronicity of hearing coach come up during my sacred time. And then my friend suggesting I start coaching. And then my coach is a coach, obviously. And she just immediately took on that role of mentor and started to guide me. And she agreed with my friend saying, yeah, you have a lot of experience and a lot of talent that you could definitely sell. So we started to work with that and say, what can I do? Well, if I was to distill my business journey down to a few sentences, it would be my entrepreneurial journey as an introvert, going from a shy, depressed, reluctant entrepreneur to the experienced, confident industry and marketing expert that I am now. Everything in between there is my curriculum. That's what I get to teach others. That's what I get to coach others. So that's, long story short, how it came about. I'm the Bowtie coach, taking the knots out of business, taking the knots out of marketing, taking the knots out of networking. It's who I am. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I am a coach. So there you have it. That's my origin story. Hope you enjoyed it. To learn more about Networking Made Simple, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. You may even enjoy my YouTube channel at Bowtie Coach. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll join me on the next episode. Bye.